Avengers to being a fucking head slave. What? This dude has literally been everything that we dreamed of being. Man. Well, not you don't want to dream of being no damn slave, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was a poor example. There, my bad. I just enjoy. I like the films. I guess Denzel are in more. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like sometimes, I guess, he does have more range than Denzel.
Yo,
he does.
Samuel L. Jackson, in my opinion, he is hands down the greatest actor of all time.
Really? I never heard that.
He's hands down the greatest. Like, you think about all of the movies he's been in. You think about classic movies. You name your top 10 classic movies right now. I can guarantee Samuel is probably in 2 or 3 of them right now.
He probably is.
That shit is crazy, yo. Like, you just think about subtle, like Jurassic Park. He was in Jurassic Park.
I forgot about that.
He was in Deep Blue Sea and gave an iconic speech before getting eaten alive by a shark. You know what I'm saying? Django. We just watched Django a couple of weeks ago.
I never watched that.
Get the fuck out of here.
I told you why. Probably years ago, man. I just couldn't get down with the whole premise, man.
Django. That's another classic.
I'm done with slave movies, Bryce.
I can respect that. This is different.
Is it?
It's different, yo. It's different, yo. It's definitely, it's a slave movie, yes.
You saw Harriet?
I didn't see Harriet, no. I kind of, what deterred me from Harriet was, I guess, like in the movie they had like a black slave catcher.
Yeah.
Like they had Catcher Freeman in there pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah, I was kind of good on that one. Yeah, I was kind of.
But Django, what was about it?
Django, first of all, I like Quentin Tarantino movies.
Okay.
I'm a Quentin Tarantino guy. Like, I enjoy his movies. I enjoy the dialogue in his movies. That's the main thing I take away from Quentin Tarantino movies is the dialogue in his movies. Right. And a lot of times he has Samuel L. Jackson in his movies as one of the lead roles. For instance, another movie of his is Hateful Eight.
I haven't watched that.
Yeah, that's another one. That's another great movie. But Django, it's a black Western. Like, it's a black Western classic. Like, it's literally, a black dude who was a slave, was rescued from slavery, and it's the whole premise of white man freeing a black dude. Okay.
Yeah, you like those movies?
I can understand why that would turn you off. Yeah. But at the same time, at the end of the day, Django, they made sure that they recognized Django as the main, like, okay, this is the dude, this is the main motherfucker. You know what I mean? And Jamie Foxx's, the way he played that role was incredible.
I think I get distracted from what I see the movie is Samuel L. Jackson's role.
Dude, he played the perfect house slave.
Really?
It was too perfect. It's like, with me, what made that movie so great was the performances. So that the 4 main performances: Jamie Foxx, the white German dude, I can't remember his name, Samuel Jackson, and Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio playing a slave owner, he played it too good. I'm like, yo, this shit, like, I legit hated Leonardo DiCaprio for like a good 2 months.
So what I'm starting to learn from you is you're willing to look past certain aspects if they're done great. Because I think we talked about, was it Tropic Thunder maybe before?
Yeah.
The blackface thing. So if you do something great, you'll look past.
I'm not looking past it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can still enjoy it.
Okay.
I can still acknowledge, like, okay, they doing blackface. That's kind of fucked up.
Right.
But then after watching the performance, I'm like, you know what?
Is that looking past it to a degree?
They went there.
Yeah.
But it's not upsetting.
Okay. You got to do it right, though, right?
They got to do it right. If you're going to take that avenue, if you're going to take that risk, you got to make sure you nail it. So, for instance, Django, they fucking nailed it. Like, Leonardo DiCaprio as a slave trader, slave holder, slave owner. Samuel Jackson as the house nigga. Jamie Foxx as Django. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just nailed their roles.
Was it more about was it any accuracy in the movie? Like, was it trying to be historical? Like, or it's just all over the place?
Well, you can see the accuracy with how they was treating black folks.
So there was plantations and stuff.
Yeah, they had the plantations, and there's definitely scenes in there. It's like,
fuck,
man. Yo, we literally can watch it right after this. We can put it on right now. We can. That's one of those movies I can sit down and watch.
Oh, man. You about to have me mad out here.
Dude, yo, listen. And the thing about it, yo, it's funny. It's funny, yo. It's one of those things where you're looking at it and it's like, damn.
So it's like Boondocks to a degree with the Uncle Rucky's character?
Yes. Yes. That's a good way to explain it.
Man.
Where it's like, yo, I know I shouldn't be laughing at this, but I can't help but laugh at this. Like, just certain scenes in there is like, fuck, that's a fucked up scene, but that's funny as fucked up.
Damn.
Yo, it's a classic.
Damn. So, but other than that, you good on slave movies? Like,
Yeah, like not all slave movies are like good movies.
why do we need them?
I don't think we need as much as they produce. Like, I didn't see, what's the one, 12 Years a Slave?
Yeah, I don't think I watched that.
I didn't watch that. I didn't watch Harriet. I didn't watch. There's another slave movie.
The Help. Was that a slave movie?
That wasn't a slave movie.
It
That
felt
was
like it.
That was more of like a. Yeah, I feel you on that one. After slavery movie.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, you think about like all the like
The Butler movies like that. Just it's probably not slave, but
The Butler was pretty cool.
Really?
I
Why?
enjoyed that movie
Why?
because it kind of showed the civil rights movement. In the eyes from the White House.
Huh.
Like, you know, you had like they showed the different presidencies. They had like the different historical events that went on during that time.
So why did we need a movie about the butler in the White House? What did that bring you?
I don't know.
Like why? Like I'm good.
I can understand why you wouldn't want to see it. But after watching it, I enjoyed it. Like, it was one of those movies where I'm not gonna lie. Like, at the end, it kind of brought me to tears.
Really?
Yeah. I shed a couple of tears at the end.
That's crazy.
Because you see, like, everything that he'd been through, like with Forrest Whitaker's character. Then, you know, he where he started off, where he got to,
He got up to the top, I assume.
something like that. Like he was working in the White House. He's the butler. And they kind of went through like how black folks was getting underpaid compared to white folks and shit like that in the White House. And then they brought that up, and then you see the different presidencies and how they portrayed them and like the scandals and shit like that going on. And then at the same time, you got the civil rights movement going on. And then at the same time, you had, like they went past that and they went to like the Black Panther Party movement.
Yeah.
And then after that, they went to like Nelson Mandela, and they got all the way to the point where Barack Obama got elected.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they went all the way up to that point. You see, when Obama got elected, I'm kind of telling you the movie. But
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch it.
when Obama got elected, you could just see like the joy on Forrest's character's face. Where
Really?
it's just like, yo, this dude has started off. From,
Wait, is this a real story? Is this the same Butler?
I think it's based off a true story. I'm not 100% sure.
They probably making that shit up.
It's based off of true. But at the end, he met Barack Obama.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the shit, it's like, it's heart moving.
Let me guess, he gave him the head nod, put up the fist. What's going on, man?
Nah. They went to go. He's like, yeah, you know, the president come see you. He's like, I know where the fuck to go. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
It was a feel good moment, I guess.
it was.
That's all they be looking for, man.
It was.
I just don't know what our movies, why. I still want to see something different. Maybe.
You know what I'm waiting for?
What?
I'm waiting for them to do a movie on Mansa Musa. I want them to do.
You know how he would look in that movie, right? They're whitening him up.
I would hope not, because that would be inaccurate as fuck.
We do that a lot. They do a lot with
Yeah,
a lot
they
of Egyptian movies and African movies in the African continent.
You know what's crazy was I still haven't watched it. I probably won't watch it. Was what is it? The Gods of Egypt movie? You ever heard of that joint?
That's the one I'm probably referring to with how they made the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just white dudes in Egypt
Yeah.
like battling monsters and shit like that. I get it. You know, it's an animated action thriller or whatever it may be, but like, come the fuck on.
Yeah.
Like, they're in fucking Egypt. Egyptians are not white.
They're at least tanned.
They're black.
Yeah.
Let's call it what it is. They're black. There's not no tan. There's not light skin. You're black.
Yeah, you're gonna
Like,
be
ancient
black.
Egypt was
Yeah.
black folks.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah,
with that
I
one?
mean, so that's the conversation I had, I think, with a couple of folks is, when does it matter how a person looks? Like, if you're the best actor, technically, meaning how you act for a role versus how you look, when does one outweigh the other? Like, does accuracy matter? Like,
Well, it all depends on the type of movie, though.
like I was talking about Queen and Slim, oddly enough, because the main actors in this movie are British. They haven't had the same experiences as an American black person, but they're in a position where they're facing police brutality. So when does the person's background matter, or how is it different with how they look, where they come from, like the person you want to fill a role?
With acting, I feel like that aspect of it can be subjective.
Really?
Because really with that one there is more of like the director's point of view.
Right.
And it's just the actor's job to portray what the director is trying to tell.
Yeah.
That make any sense?
Yeah, because they put on an American, I guess you would call it African-American accent.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and you know what I'm saying? So with that one there, like with I don't know the dudes. I'm bad
Daniel
with actors'
Kaluuya.
names. Yeah.
That guy.
I don't
he
know.
doesn't get out. Yeah.
Yeah. When I'm talking about actors, like I don't know names. There's only a few names I know, but I just be like, yeah, the dude from that movie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Daniel dude, with him, yeah, he's a British actor and shit like that. But as long as he's able to portray what the director is feeling, or what they're trying to portray to the audience, and as long as he does a good job with it,
Yeah.
him not being personally experiencing police brutality himself,
You think that's irrelevant?
yeah, that's kind of relevant to me at that point.
Okay.
Now, if there was an actor who was able to grow up in this environment and actually experience some of those experiences, then that might be a little bit, maybe they portray it a little bit different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I guess you could kind of take it both ways.
So you can put someone, like, you have to put someone that makes sense in that role. Like, you wouldn't put someone with a white skin in that role in that movie because it wouldn't make any sense, right?
Yeah, because it's not as impactful.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not as impactful because that movie it's made for black people to relate to.
Yeah,
Right. That's what I'll kind of take out of it. Even I never saw it, but that's what I'm assuming. But yeah, man. I just think that as long as the actor is physically portrayed at that point, it's black dude going through police brutality. Black people, we kind of can all relate to that, or we see it in the media every day.
So with that Egypt movie, though, you're saying, what are you saying? That they should have done?
It should have been black actors. It should have been, and if it's not going to be black actors, you know what? I haven't seen the movie, so maybe I can't give you the best opinion on it. But from the title of it, and from what I've seen in the previews and shit like that, it's like, okay, they're gods of Egypt. From what I've known, and by the way, I want to talk about you with what they teach our kids in school and shit like that.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
But from what I did my own research on, Egyptians were black people. And like white folks, like the Romans came over and they with Alexander and shit like that and whatnot. But for the majority of ancient Egypt, because this is what we're talking about, right?
Yeah,
ancient Egypt, that was black folks.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So yeah, like the whole like that shit.
You weren't feeling?
Yeah, that shit turned me off. Like I was good on that movie.
Yeah, but segue to like what they teach our kids in school, what we learned. Yeah.
I never learned about ancient Africa. I never learned.
It never existed.
Like what the fuck?
Wasn't there a king they taught us about?
King Tut.
Yeah.
That's the only.
Yeah, but he was never acknowledged as being black.
No, they just told us he was just an Egyptian king, and like all these curses happen when they try to like dig him up.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I remember from that.
I never was. Basically, they taught it as if Egypt wasn't in Africa. That's the feeling I got.
That's exactly how they portray it. Like Egypt was its own separate nation.
This is his own continent, pretty much.
Yeah, like it wasn't an African nation.
See, I'm not sure if King Tut is technically black, but I'm just saying, obviously, he wasn't white. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what time period, I forget. But.
See, this is, and I think about it this way, and see if you can feel me on this one.
Yeah.
Life is, and this has been proven, life began in Africa.
Yes.
Okay. So the first people were black people.
You would have to be.
Like they was darker skin.
Yeah.
Okay. Ancient Africa was settled by black folks.
Yeah.
Including Egypt.
Yeah.
Therefore, Egyptians were black. Am I like?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about different invasions where they mix with Arabs and things like
I can
that.
feel
That's
you
what
on
I'm
that
saying.
one,
I
though.
don't know the.
But
time
that came
period.
later on, though.
Okay,
yeah, that came later on in history.